Sup my dudes, and welcome to the first real episode of Markie's Trashy Cooking Show, featuring your host with the most, or the least, whichever way you want to go about it, me, Markie. I'm so excited. Everyone has been so into this lately, which has actually shocked me, and I'm in the wrong profession, clearly, which is fine because now this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're doing. We're, gonna cook some food, be a little trashy, and get it going. Oh, hey! So today we are going to be making classic Tex Mex fajitas with good stuff like these onions. We are also going to be making a full-on tomato salsa. I'm going to make the tortillas by hand, like flour and stuff, so fingers crossed that works out. I'm going to be making a cilantro lime rice, kind of like chippies, chipotle, and maybe some guac. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully you guys like this. Mexican and/or Hispanic food was the biggest request that I got from everybody, and I love fajitas a lot, and I think everyone else does. So let's get started. Hi guys! So since I don't have a kitchen set up for actual cooking, filmed cooking, because actually I do cook in here, I'm going to be bending down sometimes like this, but then also chopping and doing all that stuff so I can show you what I'm actually doing, so it's easier for you to kind of do it yourself instead of me just like talking to you and I'm like, oh, and you can't even see anything. So I am starting out with making the salsa. I get this recipe, I don't know if you all remember from, remember Don Pablo's. It was a really popular Tex-Mex restaurant in the 90s and like early 2000s. And so I do like a copycat of their salsa because it's my absolute favorite. And it's super easy, like real simple. The funny trash part of this segment is that I don't like cut real tomatoes. Like, fuck that shit, man. I buy canned tomatoes, and not only canned, these are off-brand Rotel chilies and tomatoes. But it all tastes the same. It's really fine, so just go with that. So I'm going to take 2 of these cans and I'm going to pour it into my little food processor. Hopefully there's enough room in this baby. And since I didn't drain these, I probably won't really add like water to this recipe, because you can also add water to your salsa, but since this does have a lot of water in here, you kind of don't need it. And then I'm going to chop up some onions. So my favorite onions are these red onions, which is really funny to me because, I mean, let's be real, these are purple, right? So what you want to do is, I already cut some off for the actual fajitas, so that's why I have like a round right here. So then you're going to put it on that side, and something really simple and easy to do is you're going to take your knife and split down a few times, and so then you can get diced chunks easier. So we're going to do something like that, and then you'll pick it back up and you'll have these little cute diced babies, instead of trying to cut them big and then dice them yourself. Way more simple. So then we're also going to do that with some white onion because, I mean, I love onions. And you can never have enough onions. So like I said, we already did that. And then we're going to turn it on its side. You can also cut it from right here if you're too scared to turn it on its side, like it's going to fall. Trust me, it is scary cutting things when you're not used to cutting vegetables. I've been doing this forever, so it's pretty normal for me. So the cool thing about cooking is that you can kind of add ingredients to your own taste. If you don't like this many onions, by all means do not add this many onions to your salsa. Don't let me force you into a ton of onions. So then we're going to take that and we put it into our food processor as well. This is looking a little full. So then we have that. Next up, I'm gonna use some cilantro. I love cilantro. I know some people are like really grossed out by it and some people like really love it. So if you hate it, I mean, by all means don't use it, but I love it. Oh, my eyes are burning from the onions. It's like an aftermath onion burn. Isn't that weird? I like get it like way later. Alright, so we're gonna pick some cilantro off of the stems. I don't use the stems. I don't know if anyone does or not, but I'm not like super into that part. I really just like the leaves. And after we pick some of these guys off, we are going to chop them. I wish my eyes would stop watering so I could see. Onions, man. Alright, so we're going to take this, and I think the easiest way to chop things that are all apart and kind of hard to grab is smush them into a little ball, and then you can chop them easier that way. And I can't really see, so hopefully I'm not going to cut my fingers off because my eyes are watering so bad from the onions. Alright. So see, we have like a nice chopped amount of cilantro. It's chopped up pretty small. The food processor will take care of anything that's like not chopped enough. Look how pretty that is looking so far. Oh, gorgeous. So from then on, we are going to add our spices. Alright, so we are going to add garlic powder. It says half a teaspoon. This is just kind of what I do. I just pour it over a half teaspoon and act like that was a half teaspoon. And then some ground cumin. This one doesn't want to come out as much. But we're also going to do a half a teaspoon of that. Okay. Since this guy is being difficult. Ooh. Alright, there we go. I'm going to add half a lime of lime juice into here. Just squish that nice and good. A good trick before you cut your lime open is to take it and like really roll it on the counter, and that'll loosen up all the juices on the inside. So it's easier to squeeze out. And then I am going to add just a little bit of sugar. Add about 2 tablespoons of sugar. Actually, maybe 1.5. And that should be good on our salsa. So I'm going to take this and put it on the food processor, chop it up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final result of our salsa. So we're just going to pop that in the fridge in this nice little Pyrex container, all net covered. You can really keep this for up to like 2 weeks or so. It should be good to go because it's not like there's any like raw ingredients. And now we are going to start on the homemade tortillas. Wish me luck because I've never tried this before, but I've made other homemade bread products and it shouldn't be that bad, right? We are starting off with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and for dry ingredients you want to use a dry ingredient measurer, just in case you don't know. Alright, so we have our 2 cups of flour so far. Next we are going to add a half teaspoon of salt. Alright, so a half teaspoon of salt. Right in that guy. We need 3/4 cup of water. So that is when we switch to our wet ingredients, not our dry ingredient cup. Wet ingredients. When you're making products like this, you do want to make sure it is measured out pretty well and precise, because even though it's cooking, this is more of the baking realm. So if something is super off, it'll be like baking super off. And then last in here, we are going to do 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, then we are going to mix that all up. This is so funny to me because I feel like you're really enjoying this. Are you?
Oh yeah.
I feel like you are. Okay, so now that we've mixed our dough, we are going to put some flour on a surface. This is marble. You can do it on any surface. Just flour the surface first. And you're going to pick the dough out of your mixing bowl. And you are going to knead it 10 to 12 times. So that means you are going to do in this bitch. You're going to get him nice and smooth and soft and squish it in there. I feel like I'm on the Great British Baking Show and this is making all of my dreams come true. Bark. Bark. Now you want to make sure you get in there.
I like swimwear.
Brandon said, you want to make sure you get in there like swimwear. He's going to let you know. That's what he wanted to tell you. Because he's being my cameraman right now. Alright. So look how beautiful this baby is. So we're going to take this. We're going to put it back in our mixing bowl. And we're going to let this bitch rest for 10 minutes. Okay? And then we'll come back when the dough is ready. We'll cut it up and then we can fry it. Alright, so now we are going to make some very simple guac. We are going to slice and dice these motherfuckers and I will show you how to easily make guac. And, you know, fresh, so you don't have to buy it out of the nasty grocery store container because that's not worth it. Okay? So we cut them. I just cut them down the middle. Pretty self-explanatory. To get the pit out, you can do some crazy like emerald shit and it should just pop the... Of course it's not gonna work. Oh, come on. So normally you should be able to do this and then, there you go. So that was cool, right? Magic trick? I don't know. I don't know why this one's not done yet. Of course it's gonna be... Whoop! I got it. Alright, so pits. You can also plant these pits just to let you know if you want to grow an avocado tree. So what I do is I just slice them vertically and then horizontally to make cute little checkerboards out of them. I'm using 2 avocados. One is fine if you don't want like too much guac, but I like to have this like for days because why not if you're already going to make it. Alright, so you are just going to spoon these out. And I chose specifically very ripe avocados so I wouldn't have an issue with kind of like mashing these guys up. Because sometimes it can be really difficult. So see how it's like super easy. Love that. Love that. We are going to take some lime juice. So like I was saying earlier, if you squish your lime really hardcore and then cut it, it'll be 1,000 times easier to get the lime juice out. Just like that. A little bit of onion to this. Using the same method as before, but I am going to dice these a little bit tinier than the other ones were, since I don't plan on putting this in the food processor. Alright, so far so good. And take a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of cumin, mix that bitch up. And you can honestly be done with just that and it would be absolutely delicious. And that's kind of how I'm leaving it for today, because I don't want a ton of flavor in here. Anyway, because I want to put this on my fajitas and I don't want it to overpower everything else. Cute, right? Alright, so along with that, the salsa, we are doing really good. Alright you guys, I've had this chicken marinating for a couple of hours now. I'll put the marinade recipe down below. I didn't want it to take an extra long time because, I mean, I don't need to show you how to make marinade. You just mix all the ingredients together and you throw shit in there. Ta! So I took chicken breasts and I cut them into very thin strips, as you can see. And then I also made a marinade similar, but not the exact same, to the chicken for the rest of the peppers and the onions. So I'm about to heat up my skillet, my little griddle here, and throw these on, and we'll get cooking for the actual fajita part. Everyone's favorite part. Okay, let's go. Alright you guys, so I just realized I don't have a rolling pin because we're trash apparently. And I'm just going to use a cocktail shaker as the rolling pin to roll out these fajitas, or tortillas, fajitas, oh my god. They're not going to be pretty, but let me tell you what, they're going to be way fucking yummier than some nasty ass store-bought tortillas. Okay, alright! Alright you guys, the chicken is about done. You want to make sure it is cooked properly to the right temperature because y'all don't want no salmonella or some nasty ass shit up in your bodies. Also, these are about done, so the onions and peppers. The onions are nice and caramelized and the peppers are nice and soft. And on the other side we have our tortillas frying up nice and beautifully. And we are about to grub down. So we are finished our fajita project. We have our tortillas, we have our chicken and our vegetables. We have cilantro lime rice. I just made the rice in my rice cooker, popped in some cilantro and then half of a lime. We have our guac we made and then our salsa, and we are going to put together a tortilla so you guys can see the whole shebang. Because, like, they always taste it on cooking shows, right? Alright, so rice, some chicken, some really yummy onions. Gonna throw some cheese on that bitch. I'm gonna grab some guac and some sour cream. Whoop. That's how I like it. And here we go, guys. And Coco's mad that we are tasting this without her, but let's give this a go. Oh, fuck yeah. This is so good. And we did such a good job. Alright you guys, thanks so much for coming by and watching Markie's Trashy Cooking Show. I hope you had a blast because I did, and we made some really cool shit tonight, don't you think? I think you should live out your best Tex Mex dreams, get some yummy Mexican beer, or, you know, whatever this is considered, and go to fucking town.